Hey everyone, Clint Butler here from Digitaleer, and welcome to episode 53 of SEO This Week. This week we're going to take a look at some copywriting tips for your content, call to action buttons, SERP display changes, and PPC changes and AdWords that everyone should probably know about. All this and more on episode 53 of SEO This Week. All right, we got a good list of content to look at. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. First, we go over to johnbloomer.com. If you know, he does a lot of the Facebook PPC stuff. As a matter of fact, he's probably recognized as one of the better or the expert in Facebook PPC, which is why we highlight him so often. Now, he is getting into video, and the reason I'm showing this to you is because a lot of small businesses and SEO agencies, we all know that we should be doing video, but let's face the facts. It just takes a long time to make. Like even SEO This Week, we compile the articles, we list them out, we write the blog post, then we got to cut the video and do the recording for that, which takes 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending on the amount of stuff I want to talk about. And then you got to export it out of the screen capture software after you edit it. So you're looking at 2 or 3 hours of video in the format that we're doing it. John has proposed a pretty cool thing. Now he's doing it on Facebook videos, but he's doing a screen capture, just a little bit of like maybe some music in the background, showing how to set up one specific thing. So let's say for our purposes, we're doing SEO, and we're going to teach how to write a title tag. We just screen opening the title tag, opening a blog post, going down to the Yoast, and typing in the title tag. Ta-da! We've created a video on how to write a title tag. It's a pretty, that's an interesting concept. I actually want to try it out. You probably burn through, set a day, get 20 questions for your market. And then just do 20, 30 to 1 minute videos, 30-second to 1 minute videos for the week. Plug them into your YouTube account and your Facebook page and kind of drip publish those using the built-in tools right there. And then you're good for the whole week. So definitely something I think we're going to try to do for us. And then if you're a local business and you're looking at, I don't know, that you're a plumber or you're a dentist, or people have questions that those 30-second videos on Facebook and YouTube could actually answer and help you with branding. Will they help you with sales? Maybe not, but at least branding and keep you on the top of mind, which is probably just as important for your marketing overall. The next site is Razor Social. We'll look at mind mapping for marketing, useful or not. Well, first off, it is useful. The author is, that's a good title, useful or not. It raises the question. Well, is it useful? Well, should I try it out? So that's pretty cool use of a title. So what he's doing is going over My Manager. It's a software tool. We used it. It's actually pretty robust. I prefer Xmind over My Manager, but there are some things in My Manager that you will actually find maybe unique to you that you'll enjoy. There's some features in My Manager that we just weren't using that it highlights this, but there's some stuff that you can probably get some benefits out of it. It's it's more expensive than Xmind, but a little bit more robust too. So with that being said, the article goes over, some things like you can flag, you can add some images, notes. I really like that be a feature in there. You can share your mind maps and then across your team and assign tasks and tell people where your tasks are, the progress through the tasks, all that kind of stuff through your online syncing functions that they have in there. That's actually pretty cool. You do your plans. I actually use these for our website. So when we're creating a silo, we use mind maps to map out the website first. That way the clients know where we're going, what kind of pages to expect, etc. Or if you're you're doing like let's say you have an authority site and you want to just keep track of everything, you want to do it visually and just one big mind map, do it that way too. That's pretty cool. So I like mind mapping. While this says doesn't work for mind mapping, I'll just go ahead and say yes, it works. It doesn't get into a lot of the application thereof, because everyone's marketing campaigns are different and unique, and they should be. But it does go into how to leverage this one particular piece of software. Check it out. I paid for Mind Management for quite some time. I just might upgrade. Not sure on the new version yet, but like I said, I kind of do prefer Xmind over it. Next is Stone Temple. It's the 3 marks of great content. This is actually a pretty epic post that I rather enjoyed. And we're going to scroll down here. If you're watching the video, you'll see me doing it. But if not, you're going to go. And here are the 3 points. Is it useful? Is it aligned? And is it unique? So is it useful is basically, that's really subjective. But if your content has to be written in for the specific audience, and typically I like to do stuff. I like to write content that solves a problem. So what is the problem that I have? Is my content useful because it solves that problem? So is it useful? Check. Is it aligned? This doesn't do me any good for writing for a dentist site to write about top 10 life hacks. It might make us feel good. We might get a little bit of bad exposure and some social shares out of it, but in the end, we're not going to get any customers out of it. So when we do that, we want to make sure that we're aligning the content with the business goals and the reader goals important. So we check that off too. And then, is it unique? Now, I am long-standing on the theory that there's so much content and information being put out there that nobody has an original thought anymore. It's just the way that you present that thought, that idea, that makes you and your content unique. So this, you can even go so far as to, let's say you have three of the preferred practices to, I'm going to stick with dentistry for this case, but 3 preferred procedures of cosmetic dentistry. And you want to compare and contrast those. Well, everyone else is writing about those 3, or telling about those 3. You're actually going to change it up and compare and contrast. Why you like this one versus that one. Why this one is better than that one. That kind of thing. And that's how you can present not unique ideas, or ideas, like SEO. I mean, seriously, there's only so many ways you can write about. You need backlinks, you need good content, and you need on-page structure. But you can create unique content by supplementing into that and delving into the, what is the unique structure? How, here's some cool ways to write a title tag. There's a billion posts out there about how to write, about writing title tags and why title tags are important, but you can add your own copywriting expertise into it, or you can add your own dental expertise into your cosmetic dentistry post to make it unique to you. This post goes into a lot more depth than what I just did. I think I gave it a good, nice, narrow overview, though. Hopefully I did that some justice to get you to read this one. It's actually pretty good. I like I said, I enjoyed it. Next we go to Seer Interactive, and what they're doing here is they have a process. So they go through and they're just seeing the tests that are happening in the search results. Like the SOS alerts. You guys saw those when Hurricane Irma hit and Maria hit, and what's the other one that came? But basically what they did is they had this SOS alert saying, hey, if you're in this area, you should be watching out for the hurricane. Obviously, how useful that is, I can't find. If you're in that area, you know about it. If it's a major storm, you're going to know about it. Maybe earthquakes kind of things. Those would be kind of helpful to throw those up inside of all of the search results. But are they only showing the SOS alerts for the specific terms, in which case you already know it is there, so it's kind of redundant and just taking up space. So I don't know if I'm a fan of the SOS alerts thing. The donate to charity directly inside of the search results. Now that is cool. So let's say we do AdWords for charities, and one of our charities is Mission Canine Rescue. So if you search for Mission Canine Rescue, the idea is that it'll have a donate button inside of the search results under your brand name. I think that's a pretty cool idea. Now, they will cite saying that if your brand searches are going to drop and your traffic goes down, but if your traffic goes down but your donations go up, then it's a win for you in that organization. So I think this should probably be a standard practice for everybody, especially if you are in the Google for Nonprofits program or you know anything about it. We're certainly going to look at it and turn it on for Mission Canine Rescue if they allow us. I guess it would probably really depend on how much money these people are, or these nonprofits are kicking into the ad results too. So, but we're going to try it and we're going to apply for it. If you're helping out nonprofits, then you probably should too. People also search for the current events section. I've seen this is more in mobile. So basically, just kind of give you some related stuff for current events. Just to take off of the people also ask that is in a lot of search results. Now this is on mobile. I don't really think it's a big deal. Probably good if you're into the news section though. You kind of get some more exposure off that way and learn some more about title tag writing and H tag writing if you follow along and do it that way too as well. QR code scanner update for Chrome. It's interesting. It's in the mobile version. You know, QR codes are, some people use them, some people don't. I can't remember the last time I've actually scanned a QR code. I do know that the last time I did it, I had to find the app, and then I had to find another app, and then I finally found an app that worked. So I just kind of make it a habit to avoid them. Go to download feature snippets. That's actually cool, especially if you are offering a downloaded product. They showed iTunes and WordPress in here, but let's say you know if you're have a software version, you're giving that away as a freemium kind of thing. That's a good option there. So you should probably look into that and see if it's showing up for your business. And then the AMP carousel for Pinterest organic results. That's pretty cool. If Pinterest drives a lot of traffic to your website, it does for us. So you should look at that. And then a booked appointments in the search results. I guess that's if you're logged in and you have an appointment for at a specific location, and then it shows up. I don't know if it'd be that helpful. It just seems to me, but it'd be a good branding thing. So that would be pretty cool to check out. And then search your Google account inside of the search results. I don't know if I really want to do that, but okay, that's pretty cool. And then the big video player is back. It used to be you could search for a song and then you get the video, the YouTube, and that big old screen thing there, and you push play and then take you to YouTube. Well, now it's going to play inside of the featured snippet, which is pretty awesome. Hopefully they actually take it beyond YouTube and add the other players into the mix, or maybe even if you're hosting your own video on your website, and you can now get the featured snippet box there too. My thought process behind that is if they're watching your video and your video has the call to actions in it and they want to buy your stuff, then go for it. Why not? Who cares if they go to your site at that point, as long as they're buying your stuff. All roads lead to you is the line I use for that. Couple of posts from Practical E-commerce is don't forget Bing for holiday advertising. Some things I didn't know is Bing is actually kicking Google's butt when you're looking for apparel, consumer electronics, flowers, gifts, and toys. And beyond that, they're actually spending $500 more. Those searchers are spending $500 more than the searchers that are looking in the same categories on Google. So I think there's a little bit of affluence there inside of Bing users that you should probably take advantage of and get your Bing PPC campaigns. There's less competition over there. There's less traffic, obviously, but less traffic equals less competition, which equals lower PPC rates, which usually are higher return on investment. So certainly check that out. And if you have products, physical products, look at the shopping tab and the shopping features. There's some extra data that you're going to have to add in order to leverage that, but I think those are actually really good for you too, especially if you're in those sections or those markets that I just laid out to you. I'll say those again: toys, flowers, gifts, consumer electronics, and apparel. If you are in those markets, you should probably turn on your Bing campaigns now, get those optimized for the holidays. And then 8 ways to supercharge your call to action. These are the buttons. So basically, you know, Amazon, they created their button. They tested it, tested the shape, the size, the color, the text, the size of the text, etc., to fine tune that. And you can still see it to this day. It changes a little bit every time you go in there because they're testing it out to see what's working best. And some things here that practical e-commerce would like to highlight on your e-com stores is just use a standard simple text on your button, add to cart or purchase. Don't get don't get tricky with it. You don't have to. Use text-based buttons instead of fancy graphics for your button. That just, people are looking for the text-based button. Just give it to them. That's what they want. The color on your site should follow the design of the site. The color of the button should follow the design of the site without blending in. I noticed that a lot. People are using one particular color on their site. They're using it so much, and then they make their button the exact same color. And then what essentially happens is it doesn't stand out. So I like to change it up a little bit. If not, go for something that's just kind of complementary yet pops. So if you have a light blue, choose a darker blue or even a yellow or something like that. It just kind of goes with it. To make it so that when people are on your site and they see it, they know where the order now button is, and that's, especially if they're in a hurry, they don't want to search around for it. And there are some more tips in here that I think you'll enjoy. In the end, all of these are really simple to implement, especially if you're following any of the standard, using any of the standard tools right now to build your e-com page. So I would go ahead and implement all 8. Make sure you're falling in line with these. And then I take it to the next level and kind of play with that. So on the colors thing, change it from, do some A/B testing. Maybe one is light blue and the other one's dark blue. See which one gets more clicks. And do that with each one of these 8 and kind of pick it up a little bit and see, squeeze every dollar that you can out of your marketing budget by increasing your conversions. Next, we're at the Search Engine Journal. It's Google doubles AdWords budgets and advertisers are unhappy. So basically what it is you can set your daily budget. Let's say your daily budget is $5. And you're not meeting your goals, or you're not getting a lot of clicks throughout, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Nothing happened. No one was searching for it. And then Thursday, Google sees that there's a whole bunch of people searching for it. Your ads are showing. You're getting clicks, so they're going to double your budget. So instead of spending $5 that day, you're going to spend $10. This is actually, from Google's perspective, in trying to help a marketer out, it's actually pretty good. So let's say you do have a low budget. If you're only spending $5 a day, you got a problem. You should be spending, a little bit more than that. But if you have a lower budget and your words are not searched a lot, that through your keyword research, they're not searched a lot, this actually saves you because, again, if there is a busy day, if there is a spike in your search results during a peak period of the week or the month, then you're positioned in there to take advantage of it. Google has set it so that you can't override your monthly limit. So let's say we do shared budgets for our campaigns. So we have 10 campaigns, we're fishing, looking for keywords, and we want to find the ones that convert, and we have a shared budget of $1,000 a month. It won't override your shared budget, but it will override your daily budget in order to account for those spikes in traffic. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a good idea. There are people, again, who are up in arms and crying about it because there are specific reasons for setting those daily budgets. So let's say you know your keyword gets a steady amount of traffic. You want to show your ad a steady amount of the period of that time. So I think the algorithms over at Google are good enough to see that. It would be my impression that the spike, the double limit would not happen unless, of course, it's testing ads and it finds a winner all of a sudden, and then it shows that double ads and verifies that. It could cause a little bit of chaos inside of your marketing budget. But let's say you increase your click-through rate because of this. You're getting more clicks. You're getting more conversions, so you're making more money. So now why not put more money towards your advertising campaign? You should be bringing back 25% of your profits into your marketing to increase the gain of profits. So why not do that with your AdWords thing? And I think that's where Google's looking at it. Is we're going to help you become successful by taking advantage of these traffic spikes. And then in turn, you should see higher conversions because you're doing all the stuff that we told you to do, in which case you're making some more money, so you can give us more money, so we can drive you more traffic, so you can make some more money, so you can give us more money. So the circle of life. So just be cognizant that process is there, especially if you're dealing with a low budget or you have clients with low budgets. It might be something that you should watch out for. See if it's happening to you. Next is HubSpot, is Charles Bukowski's Guide to Effective Copywriting. 5 tips. So the 5 tips really are: read the author Bukowski. He isn't a copywriter. He writes poetry and short stories, but he writes with emotion, brevity, clarity, honesty, and style. And it kind of goes into some of those key points and some things you can work on for yourself. It's not a very deep article on copywriting, though, frankly. I kind of expect these articles to be, especially if you're going to write about the topic of copywriting, to get into these a lot deeper. Like, if you're going to write about emotion, don't just say this author was emotional, so write emotionally. That doesn't help you in any way at all. Brevity, kind of along the same lines. Clarity, you got a little bit better as the article goes along, but for the most part, I think those points are okay, and they're on top. So I added this in here because I like copywriting, so you should check it out and see if it's right for you. Maybe you get some insights out of it. I know I got a couple, but it is helpful. 127 facts you probably didn't know about video marketing. It's an infographic. Check it out. One thing I want to point out is that they did this great infographic and they shortened it at 1/4 of a size. So that is a do not. It's really hard to read. You click on it and it doesn't naturally expand inside of the browser. So just, if you're going to invest the time and money to make a good infographic like this one obviously is, then actually make sure it displays right on your website. There's a lot of useless knowledge in here, but it is pretty cool. Again, if you're looking for a reason to sell your boss on video marketing, there's some good resources in here just so you can add to your argument plate there to go for it. This one is Moz special notes for service area businesses amid decreased search visibility. Service area businesses have always kind of gotten screwed inside of Google Maps, which in turn required, if you have in the 3-pack, you're going to get more leads, right? Because you're getting more exposure on mobile and desktop, so you get more leads being in that 3-pack. And so what happened is the service area businesses, they were never showed in the 3-pack, so they said, all right, well, how about I make a local area business, meaning like a brick and mortar thing, which led to what a lot of people call spam listings. Now, granted, some of them are spam, but if you're a service area business and Google just won't show your business inside of the 3-pack, then what other recourse do you have but to throw an address in there and make a normal thing? So I think, kind of get off of the white horse that a lot of people are on here and not helping their clients because they're following that white horse train. I think that this article is okay in kind of talking about how Google's home service ads clicked out. So basically what it means is they're verifying like electricians, plumbers, HVAC guys, everyone who does a business at your house, and they're making them pay for verification and then making them pay to actually be shown in the search results under these home service ads things, and they're kind of expanding that out. Well, they're saying that they're verified now. They're verified at that location. And then it in turn means that they're trusted. The problem is, one, it's not, you can read some of the comments and that is not always the case. They're not always at that location. And plumbers are being shown for things that aren't there. The ad blocks are all messed up. My guess is, and I haven't even bothered trying it because it's not available here, is the home service ads are not available here, but you're going to end up calling and you have to verify to some dude or dudette in India that your local business in Illinois is actually correct, which is there in turn frustrating of and of its own, because now they're going to say, oh, you must take pictures, sir. And then you got to talk about the 50 ways to actually get your listing verified to someone that doesn't even understand you correctly in the nuances of the English language, which, you know, that just pisses me off to no end. Having to call Google AdWords or you know, the Google My Business services. You get through 3 different people from India because they keep passing you on to the next person because their checklist doesn't have the answer to your question. It's so frustrating, and I can imagine that that's probably the same thing is going to happen over at home services ads, because it's just not, you know, cost prohibitive for Google to do home services ads for every city in the United States or around the world, and use native speaking people or people from the U.S. to service their U.S. businesses. People from India should be servicing their India businesses. People from Germany should be serving their Germany businesses, and that's just not the case, and it's causing a lot of headaches. So that's first, and then second is it's kind of the way I've seen these home services as displays in the Google Maps results. Yes, you are getting pushed down. In the organic results, the ads are actually going to carousel across the top, so it's not taking up too much space. That said, the 3-pack, they're only showing 1 ad in the 3-pack, so I think there's still some opportunities here for everybody, without getting into the whole sky is falling campaign that everyone else is doing here, especially in this article when they're highlighting the maps listings. It is not going unnoticed, though, that Google owned or was invested in Thumbtack, which is a lead generation company. Thumbtack does service these guys, the plumbers, contractors, cleaners, very well. So they got some insight into the business model, how much money is there, and then all of a sudden these home service ads popped up. So I think it's, you know, it's a little bit of helping out the home services guys to actually create legitimate Google Maps listings, service area listings, and help them get ranked while making some money on the other side of that too. So if you don't pay, where are you going to be? I'm not really sure. I guess it would depend on the ad block and the pain points for the click-through rates of where that's going to end up. Next is search engine land. There's 5 ways to capitalize on the Google Tag Manager. I actually, you know, the one here is implement structured data, and then I like using Tag Manager to implement analytics. I put a link to Google Analytics Breakthrough. It is hands down the best book on analytics and Tag Manager. I would suggest, as a avid reader of blog posts, to stay off of the blog post until you've gone through that book. You'll see it again. It's Google Analytics Breakthrough. The link is on the show page to go ahead and get that from Amazon. If you want to click my link, great. I get some Amazon commissions. I think it's what, 4% for books. But if not, just at least go get the book, Google Analytics Breakthrough on Amazon. Check it out. You will not be disappointed. Search Engine Journal, you've been guest blogging wrong, and here's why. First off, here's my rant. If you write a guest post or you write a blog post about guest posting and start it off and say it's not for backlinks, then you're a complete idiot. And you're just trying to take advantage of people and ride this proverbial white horse that you think you're on. It says if you're writing for guest posts for links, then you're doing it wrong. That's bullshit. I had to add that in there, and I apologize if you have some kids listening, but you are writing guest posts on you're writing content on other people's sites in order to do two things. One is to improve your branding, and two is to get backlinks so that traffic that's on those other sites, those other established sites, comes to you. So there's no other reason to do guest posting other than to build your brand and to get backlinks. And to say that you're doing it because you're gaming the system, that's just ignorant white hat talk, in my opinion. It is just designed to dupe you as a consumer of search engine optimization and search engine optimization services. These guys are doing the same thing that their supposed quote-unquote black hats are doing. And it's just, if you're doing it in a black hat way, typically you're actually posting quote-unquote guest posts on PBNs, private blog networks, that other people own, and getting backlinks. So, and these guys are just doing it. They're doing the same thing that the black hats are. The white hats are doing the same thing that the black hats are. They're just on their moral horse saying, no, we're just creating quality content for other people and highlighting ourselves and how great we are. And that's such bullshit. Rant over. All right, the traffic is there's a gain if your post is guest post is correctly. So basically, if you're going to take the time to write content for other people, make sure that it's in the right market. It's the same market as in your target website is, and that they actually have some traffic, and that you can see evidence that they're going to promote the content. Obviously, you're going to have to promote it as well. That's part of one of the costs of doing guest posting is you got to promote that article as well. But if they don't have any traffic, then just don't waste your time. Go to sites that have a lot of traffic and take advantage of it. Some things: don't pay for Huffington Post, Forbes, Entrepreneur Magazine, all that other crap. There's people paying $2,000 to $5,000 to get on those sites. Those are great sites. Don't get me wrong, but you can do other outreach to the actual legitimate writers of those pieces of content and get a much better factor of article, get a promoted article. And for the most part, a lot of those where it's contributor, self-contributed posting, a lot of those like HuffPost, those things aren't even indexed in Google. They're set to no index. So no sense of paying for them, in my opinion. Build a list, find people who are actually really writing for these people, and just start building a kind of relationship. It's going to take some time, don't get me wrong, and they're not going to go out there and write articles about plumbing. But if you have a relationship, maybe they have a question, they're doing a piece about X, Y, or Z, the latest and greatest plumbing pipes or whatever, then they already know you, so they're going to reach out to you, and they're going to highlight you in your thing. And kind of do it that way on those. That is not guest posting. That is public relations and media outreach. Guest posting. Let's SEO. I have an SEO blog. We talk about SEO, PPC, and web design. So if you write one of those three things and you write me a really good article, and and you've done the research, and you know that I write about SEO, PPC, and web design, then your outreach process is a lot easier. You send me this article. Here, I wrote this article for your site. Can you post it? If I don't say yes, then you can send it to someone else. If I do say yes, you take it off your pool of content that you have made, and then I start promoting your article because it's on my site, and you promote your article because it's on my site, and it's a win-win situation for everybody. That's guest posting. If you scroll down all the way to the bottom of this post, is actually kind of gets into the meat of actually how to write a guest post. I am going to go ahead and give you the Reader's Digest version. Pay someone else to do it. So for the most part, you have to run your business. You have to write the content for your own site, and then you have to do everything else that goes along with, content creation and business and running a business. You don't have time to write 10, 15, 20 new articles about your industry for guest posting. Find someone else to write for you. If you don't have someone, reach out to us. We'll write the content for you for a reasonable price. We'll do well research. We have English writers from the United States and the United Kingdom that actually are native English speakers. They can write your content for you. And then, like I said, take one piece of content, reach out, find out who wants it. Someone says yes, boom. And then do the next piece of content, and now you have 20 good pieces of content out there that are doing two things for you. What are they doing in class? They're doing branding and link building. All right, the last article is Moz. It's by Joy Hawkins. Joy is one of the white hat ragers that I was talking about. They like to scare people and they also like to, their idea of SEO for a lot of, especially in maps, seems to be, if they're beating me, they must be spam, so let me report them. Kind of philosophy that I've kind of noticed out of Joy and her crew. However, she does have this really good ebook that she charges $1,400 for. That has some great information, and so this article is actually kind of in line with that, because we bought the $1,400 ebook, which I'll never do again ever, and then we also looking at this article, you see continuity and writing in there, so it actually works out for us. But here's the point of this article: people can recommend changes to your Google My Business listing, especially in the Google Maps app, and you can recommend changes to it. Up until recently, they recommend changes, Google look at it, and then maybe or maybe not and get approved, and you wouldn't even know about it until you saw the change. Now they're actually emailing you saying, hey, someone recommend these changes to you, but you might not see the email, or maybe it goes to the primary owner of the email, but you're the manager. So that could be a little bit of frustration for you. The key is just be aware that people as a user, can go to your business, look at the hours and go, oh, the hours need to be this, and make that change or recommend that change for you. And more often than not, Google's not going to change it, but there's an opportunity there that it could. Or if they do change it, you have to kind of pay attention to it, because they're not going to notice. So the lesson here, kids, is claim your Google My Business listing, and then also monitor the thing for changes, just to make sure it's right. I wouldn't get too crazy with it. It's not like something you got to watch every day. Just monitor it once a week. Go in there and go, oh, okay. And then look at your traffic and phone calls and be like, oh, cool. I got 10 calls on my map. So, it's kind of a happy surprise thing. Just kind of get you into the habit of looking. This post is written in such a way to scare you, to say that there's people going out there intentionally all over the planet and changing your listings and trying to rip you off. And they're horrible, bad people, and Google's horrible and bad for letting them do it. However, more often than not, no one's going to change your map listings, and it's just something to be aware of, that changes can happen, and you just want to check it out. This is why you kind of add it to your weekly checklist of things to do. So the sky is not falling in Google Maps, regardless of what they imply, but it is what it is. That's good information. So. All right, that's it. Close it out with SEO This Week, episode 53, copywriting, SERP changes, and content. I hope you found this content valuable. And a couple of takeaways is do guest posting for branding and links, and then actually do those short videos. If I were going to pick one over the other, I would do the short videos. You can actually see a return a lot faster than you can on the guest posting. The guest posting is more of a long-term branding SEO play, and the videos kind of reach your audience right here, right now. And if you're doing the Q&A stuff, like I suggested, answering questions, that stuff lasts forever. So you do 20 this month, 20 next month, 20 months down the road, and next thing you know, you got a channel of 400 or 500 videos of pure straight value driving you traffic, and maybe then you can move on to something else at that time. So I hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you have a website that you would like us to highlight on SEO This Week, come to Digitaleer.com, click on SEO This Week, and there's a submit form there. Please only use the form if you're actually writing relevant and new content. We're not going to highlight your articles from 3 years ago. Just not going to happen. But we are going to look at everything that you send us. So please fill out the form. Thank you very much, and thank you for watching the show or listening to the podcast. And have a great week.